Have you ever stopped to wonder not just what you think, but how you think? Today, we're diving into this incredible concept of the library of the mind. It's an idea that really challenges our modern-day reliance on Google and asks a pretty startling question. What vital skills has our brain lost along the way?
I mean, really think about that for a second. No books, no internet, not even a sticky note. Your entire culture, its stories, its laws, its science, all of it just in there, ready to go. It sounds like a legit superpower, right? But for most of human history, this wasn't some special ability. It was just how things worked. And it shaped our minds in ways we've pretty much completely forgotten. And this right here, this is the core of that shift. You see, knowledge used to be internal. It was something you carried around with you, something you embodied. You didn't look it up, you recalled it. But today, it's almost entirely external. It's something we search for, we click on, we reference. And that's not just a small change. It's a total rewiring of how we relate to information itself.
So to really wrap our heads around this, we need to take a trip back in time. We're going to imagine a world that ran completely on memory, a world without a single written word.
And just look at the kind of stuff people had to keep in their heads. We are not talking about a grocery list here. We're talking about epic poems as long as a novel, family trees that stretch back for generations, complicated legal systems, and just vast knowledge about plants, animals, and the stars. All of it was carefully stored inside what you can only really call a living library.
And that gets to such a key point. For these oral cultures, memory wasn't just some party trick. It was their entire cognitive ecosystem. What that means is knowledge wasn't a bunch of random facts. No, it was all woven together with stories and rhythm and strong mental pictures, creating this incredible web of context. It was fully integrated, not just stored away in a file cabinet. Which, brings us to the big question, the one that sounds almost impossible. How on earth could a normal human brain hold that much information so perfectly and pass it down generation after generation?
Well, the answer is pretty amazing. They had a kind of mental technology, a system for organizing information that was honestly just as sophisticated as any app we've got on our phones today.
The official name is the method of loci, but you've probably heard of it by its much cooler name, the memory palace. It's this ancient, incredibly powerful technique that links whatever you want to remember to a mental picture of a real place that you know like the back of your hand. So here's how it works. First, you pick your locus, say your childhood home. Then you take the thing you want to remember and you turn it into a crazy, bizarre, unforgettable image. Seriously, the weirder the better. Then you mentally place that image somewhere specific in your house, like on the kitchen table. And to remember it, you just take a little mental stroll through your house and boom, you see the image right where you left it. It's shockingly effective.
How effective are we talking? Well, ancient storytellers, who were basically the human hard drives of their cultures, could recite epic poems, some of them the length of a modern book, word for word. All they had to do was walk through the enormous palaces they had built inside their own minds.
And look, this isn't some kind of ancient magic. As modern writers like Joshua 4 have pointed out, this technique works because it basically hacks a core feature of our brain. We are wired to remember places, where the food is, where the danger is. The memory palace just cleverly hijacks that incredibly powerful spatial memory to store all sorts of abstract stuff.
So if this system was so powerful, what happened? Well, a new technology came along, one that would completely change human history and our own brains, writing. And this led to what we can call the great cognitive trade-off.
You can really see the shift here. In oral cultures, memory was absolutely central, and thinking was associative, kind of like a spider web. But with literacy, memory gets outsourced to the page, and our thinking becomes more linear, more abstract, more analytical, more like a list.
And let's be clear, this was an incredible upgrade for humanity. Writing freed up so much mental energy. It allowed for the development of complex philosophy and science and law in ways that just weren't possible before. It was a massive win for the human intellect.
But there was a cost. By offloading our memory onto a page or a scroll, we let that innate mental muscle for deep, connected recall start to get weak. We didn't really need a memory palace inside our heads when we could just build a physical library outside of it.
And this is where it all comes home to us right now. Because that trade-off didn't stop with the printing press. Oh no. It has accelerated like crazy in the digital age. From the ancient scroll to the printed book, and now to the search engine that lives in our pocket, this trend of outsourcing our memory just keeps on going.
We've gone from having a library in our minds to having the entire world's library at our fingertips.
And this really gets at the crucial difference. On one side, you've got true internalized understanding. This is knowledge that's woven into your thinking, that forms that web of context. It literally becomes a part of you. On the other side, you have searchable knowledge. It's isolated facts we can pull up instantly, but they stay external. They never really become a part of us.
Which leaves us with a really big final question. In gaining this unbelievable power to look up anything, anytime, have we lost the ability to truly know something? Have we traded the deep, rich library of the mind for the vast but maybe shallow ocean of a search result? It's definitely something to think about the next time you instinctively reach for your phone to find an answer.